Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. I am your host, Michael Karvelis, and this is Daily Dive. It is Wednesday, February 4th, 2026, and this show begins now. We are live streaming via the airwaves of North American Talk Radio on YouTube, and we appreciate you for tuning in. Please subscribe before you leave today's awesome show. Coming up on today's show, I'm going to first get into my NLL Midseason Awards. I call it the Middies. At the end of the year, I have the mics. But today, we're going to give my goalie, MVP, GM, coach, offensive, defensive players, and rookie of the year. All right, that's what we're doing today on the first segment to start things off. I cannot wait for that. Then I'll get into my power rankings. I have a feeling it's going to be a good one. We are finding out very quickly who are the haves and the have-nots. So I'll be excited for that. And then finally, we'll get into a really good segment that just gets you going. It's going to be Fresh Fits. Cannot wait for that. The best dressed players and broadcasters in week number 10. Before we get started, I don't know why people are talking about this again, but we've been talking about it for a few weeks on the show, and if you're watching, you knew. There is NLL merchandise found at natalkradio.us/NLL. Yes, the NLL has launched another merchandise line, soft launch, but this time it's not on Fanatics. They got player name shirts. Still a few of them missing, which is why it's a soft launch, and we've confirmed that. But they got good hoodies. A lot of great stuff on there. It seems like a lot of good stuff to come. I'm very excited for it again. natalkradio.us/NLL. Okay, folks. Now let's get into it. We're going to talk about my mid-season awards. There is comments here. Fire. Ooh. I mean, you spell the name right, Captain. Come on now. It's on the screen. All right, so let's talk about the Midseason Awards, all right? Now, if you've been following my award races, some of them may seem very similar to what I'm about to show you, but I'll give you my candidates for these things well before I show the graphics, all right? So, first off, for Rookie of the Year, there are some names that could come to mind. Obviously, the rookies on the Toronto Rock, CJ Kirst, Owen Hiltz, Sam English, those guys stand out. Pat Cavanaugh of the San Diego Seals, very impressive season. Nolan Byrne, what a week 10 he had to get to really make a strong push. So keep that in mind. Again, I'm not going to tell you my winners yet, but those are my nominees. All right. And for me, with Rookie of the Year, I did not take into consideration the record. That's not, the rookie should not have to be valuable. The rookie should just be putting up great numbers. I feel like the guy that I chose is doing just that. All right. Next up is going to be the Defensive Player of the Year. Really, 3 or 4 guys stood out here for me. Obviously, you have Callum Jones leading the league in caused turnovers at 20 of those. Nick Tchaikovsky, 15 caused turnovers and 9 blocked shots. Very awesome numbers. Mike Messenger, 10 and 12. But a lot of my winner, and I think the record matters a tiny bit here, but again, The defensive player is just a guy who is, I think he has to be on a good team, I will say, but I feel like it's okay if other defenders are surrounding him. I also take into account the goaltending as well. I know sometimes the defender may look worse or better with the goaltender, but if raw stats are why I feel like defenders can get rewarded there. But again, a little bit to do with record, a little bit to do with the bad goaltending, and like I said, Mike Messenger, Nick Chaykowski, Callum Jones, my considerations there. For offensive player, Jeff Teat, Keegan Ball, Alex Simmons were my nominations. All right. So why don't we give you, I just told you my rookie, offensive player, defensive player nominations. Let's show you what I have. There they are. My rookie of the year right now is at the week 10 mark is CJ Kirst. CJ Kirst this season, again, as a rookie, it's not just the 18 goals and 15 assists. It's the 39 loose balls and the 9 caused turnovers. This guy is putting up the numbers that Dyson Williams and others were last year, and then playing defense like Adam Patra. Like last year, I thought that Adam Patra's offensive numbers were good enough, and I actually thought that Adam Patra should be the rookie of the year, but they did not give it to him. CJ Kirst is, like I said, doing both. He's the versatile player I liked last year, and now he's doing it as, again, offensive and defensive this year, so good for CJ Kirst. Offensive player might seem like an interesting take here, but here's the thing with offensive player. I think raw numbers matter probably the most here. I also think the team you're on matters a little bit too. You don't have to be winning, obviously, with my pick on Alex Simmons, but you have to be doing great on your team. All right, Jeff Teat. No one wants to admit it. Like, oh, he's averaging one more. I don't care. He's got Rob Hellier right now. If you go to the Oshawa Firewolves, Alex Simmons doing way better than Ty Kurtz. And then for Vancouver Warriors, Keegan Ball has 50 points. How about Curtis Dixon, the next guy in line? 32. It's not, Alex Simmons and Keegan Ball were the two guys. I'm like, I don't know which one. I went with Simmer. Alex Simmons, not only does he have the points, he also has enough gap between himself and Ty Kurtz. And he also has 24 goals, which I believe is tied for first in the NLL. Yeah, he's tied with Jeff Teat. So I feel like that was good enough for me for Alex Simmons. I don't think people realize. I did not even realize Alex Simmons was tied for the league in goals. And I'm a big Oshawa Firewolves guy. You guys know this by now. Callum Jones, the Ottawa Black Bears, won my defensive player of the year. Callum Jones has been pretty much the only staple, really, on the Ottawa Black Bears. And it feels like he is, it feels like Callum Jones is also maybe helping Zach Higgins more than Zach Higgins is helping Zach Higgins right now. Because Callum Jones has been, I said it before, his rookie year, he was fearless. And he continues to be fearless. I love what he is doing right now. And I feel like Callum Jones, I mean, I don't know if it's a runaway like it was, because I almost switched my pick to Mike Messenger. But I feel like when you think about the goaltending behind him is not that great right now, Callum Jones might be a big reason why they are just one game below 500 and not 3 or 4 games below 500. There's an argument to be made that Callum Jones has been the best player on D. Jeff T. Rob Hellier have been great, but Callum Jones has probably been the second or third most important Black Bear this season. Pat Gregoire, regarding the Rookie of the Year race, says, CJ Kirst, yeah, no, I know that. My point is with Adam, I understand I didn't say it right. My point is he is versatile, just like Adam Patra. Because last year, the voters were like, oh, he doesn't have enough offense. Okay, well, CJ Kirst has enough offense, and he's doing the Adam Patra things. I don't care which position he plays. The stats are counting. And like Pat said, it's ridiculous that a guy who's a rookie is willing to get back. And not just willing to get back, the coaching staff wants him to get back. Because if they didn't, he wouldn't keep doing it. But he's obviously not just, they're not just letting him do it. They know he's good at it. And that speaks volumes how good CJ Kirst is playing. Not arguing with Pat Gregor, I'm just saying, I don't care what position he's playing. Yeah, that is a good point. Yeah, that's a good point because, like you said, if CJ Kirst is putting up, again, already 9, folks, right now, this is a crazy, it's ridiculous, all right? Caused turnovers, there are 16 guys. 16 guys in the entire, 300 or so roster in the NLL. How about CJ Kirst? Well, okay, there's 9. Okay, let me do this stat again. There are 20 guys with 9 caused turnovers in the National Lacrosse League. CJ Kirst is one of them. Not too shabby for a rookie. But yeah, and again, it's so funny. I just want to stay here a little bit with these awards, and I'll get to the big hitters here. It's so interesting to me, the offensive and defensive player of the year, when you first think of those awards, I always think offensive player of the year is a Jeff Teat award because Jeff Teat, the Black Bears always stink. Well, they're not making the playoffs, at least. I think that's preserved for the MVP stuff, as I'll get to shortly. But I find it so interesting that Alex Simmons on a god-awful team, and I mean god-awful, he's putting up these ridiculous numbers. And I've told, I think I mentioned to Pat on a couple of Mondays, I was I didn't name him for Mike's Lunchbox, but I was like, come on, man. This guy's running around. He's him. And first of all, to start the year, it was Dougie saving the Firewolves if they had a chance. Now it's Simmons when the offense finally starts to cook. I mean, it's so unfortunate the team stinks, but I was shocked Alex Simmons had gotten as good as he had been with the counting stats. And again, I know Jeff Teat this, and I know that Keegan Ball also underrated. Again, bullet, chrome to my dome, life on the line. I did not think I was going to put Alex Simmons when I made this graphic. I thought I was going to put Keegan Ball. But Alex Simmons says, if you're tied for leading the league in goals, it's awesome. And again, Callum Jones might be the second or third best Ottawa Black Bear this year. All right, next up on award races, midseason awards, I'm going to give you my nominations for MVP, goalie, GM, and head coach. But let's take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll do that and tell you about those awards. You're watching Daily Dive. Thanks so much. Don't go anywhere. We know you won't.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening. You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome back to Daily Dive, the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. It is Wednesday, February 4th, 2026. Reminder, there is NLL merch found at natalkradio.us/NLL. Player name shirts, and of course, hoodies. It's not too cold out, at least for us right now. It is February, so I hope that spring chickens are right around the corner and Groundhog Day can shove it. How's that? How's that? Stay tuned for my power rankings and, of course, fresh fits. It might be a long show today. Yesterday, full disclosure, I missed it. Wasn't doing too hot. But now I am. So I'm ready to do fresh fits and all the other good stuff. But yeah. So, I just talked about my midseason awards part 1. I dropped this nugget on you guys. Here it is. This nugget on you guys. I got CJ Kirst as my rookie of the year. I've got Alex Simmons as my offensive player of the year. I have Callum Jones as my defensive player of the year. So, next up, let's do MVP, goalie, GM, and head coach. Now, we'll do general manager first with my nominations. Dan McCray of the Ottawa Black Bears is right up there because he brought in Rob Hellier, and I want to remind people how big of a deal this is, okay? So the Ottawa Black Bears offense, and let's just go through the numbers just quickly from last season if I can here. In 2025, the Ottawa Black Bears scored 183 goals. That was good enough for last in the NLL. You fast forward to this season, the Ottawa Black Bears have 104. That is literally first place in the National Lacrosse League. And remember, bringing in Rob Hellier was not just a guarantee. And I want people to understand why. Last year, when Rob Hellier went to the Seals after being with the Desert Dogs, or should I say, the Dumpster Dogs, as they were for so long. That's right. That's how bad they were. You're welcome. Not only was he okay with them, he goes to the Seals, and I was like, okay, I think he'll have a good year. I think he'll have a really good year. Wasn't great. It wasn't as wow as I thought it would be. So I don't know of anybody who said, hey, the Ottawa Black Bears are going to go from 14 to even top 5 in goals. No one said that. No one had that take. No one, they're like, well, we hope that they make the playoffs. One of the only reasons, if not for Callum Jones and his individual defense, that this team could make the playoffs is Rob Hellier is the Batman to the Robin I've been waiting for. Now, this could also be a separate segment, which we might do this week. My point is, Dan McCray pulled that trigger. Good for him. The offense went from 14 to, at least in goals scored, 14 to first so far. And I know they've played the most games. It's still a top 3 offense right now, and that is different than 14th. Even with Jeff Teat. I don't care, Jeff Teat was on the team last year, and it wasn't working. So, this is incredible. Great stuff by Dan McCray. Another guy I consider, John Arlotta of the Georgia Swarm. Now, it's such an interesting one with Arlotta because part of me is like, yeah, Great draft picks. The other part of me is like, Ed Cuomo and Brett Dobson might be saving you. And I know the rookies have been great. Specifically like Michael Grace and Nolan Byrne? Let me make sure. I don't want to say the wrong guys here. Like Nolan Byrne, Michael Grace, Kean Moon sometimes. Ben Trumbull, underrated, by the way, how he's played. It's impressive what they've done with some rookies. Here's the thing. I am guilty of this. Andrew Q left. I think he was traded, right? They brought in, who is that guy? Why do I keep forgetting his name? It's not Connor Robinson. It's the other guy. Is it Connor? The guy from Colorado from last year. Why do I like him actually, and I keep forgetting his name. I know I'm going to, as soon as I get it, someone's going to come. Connor Kelly! I knew it was a Connor. Thank you. Yeah, see, look at me. I knew as soon as I saw that someone was going to comment it. Q trades, yeah. Ottawa's 11 goals a game is fourth in the NLL. There you go. Yeah, so it's like, again, they play the most games, but again, 14-1 is like 14 in top 5 is ridiculous. So yeah, but John Arlotta, again, is it Ed Cuomo and the goalie, or is it the drafting? But if you include the drafting, the Andrew Q trade is not good right now. And again, I know that was the point I'm getting to. I know the fact. I don't think Q was good the last 2 years with Georgia. I feel like they needed to, and it wasn't even like an Andrew Q thing, maybe. It was just, how could we get better because we were stuck in neutral? Good for John Arlotta. But Andrew Q might be walking into an MVP conversation right now. And I know, I don't think I'm there yet, as you'll see, but he's top 10 MVP Andrew Q. I could make the argument. Probably, yeah. So that's my thing. With John Arlotta, you have the good stuff, but you also like, I don't know, man. With Connor Kelly, you have to know he wants to play. And he hasn't so far. And we're 9 games in. It's not good. And my GM, I think, is pretty obvious. It was the guy who got Andrew Q and Jack Hanna, Brad Self. And people are going to say, oh, well, Jack Hanna was going there. Was he, though? We all thought it would happen. But ask the boys at Loose Mesh, how long did that take? Regardless of who reported it first, how long did that that took a little bit longer than we had hoped for. And so obviously, and shout out to him, Sean Williams was doing a good work on making sure he got back what he wanted to. But Jack Hanna, the fact that he finally went to Colorado and that Brad Self did pull that trigger, good for him. Andrew Q, again, has been dropping the offense, bang. And you also have to look at, they still have Ryan Lee. Oh, I know he's out for the year. But Ryan Lee, Eli McLaughlin, and the other guy, like, they got guys that are out right now, which also speaks to the coaching of Pat Coyle. But again, Brad Self is, I feel like him and Dan McCray are the two guys leading it for me. And maybe Sean Williams, if Las Vegas makes the playoffs, I do believe can enter the conversation over John Arlotta, as you'll see why in a minute. But yeah, I like those 3 or 4 guys, and I think really in the end, it'll come down to Heller. Good job. It'll come down to Dan McCray and Brad Self, in my opinion. But those are my nominees. For coach, go back to Georgia. Hey, Ed Cuomo, that guy has the rookies. Lyle was dreadful to start the year. And while Brett Dobson has been the equivalent of Jeff Teach playing goalie, it still was like they needed to find ways to win games. And the Swarm are 5-3. Another coaching job I mentioned, Pat Coyle. He's been pretty good. Again, when Ryan Lee is out, when Jack Hanna was not there to start, and Dylan Ward has been great, but the defense has also been great too. So I feel like Pat Coyle deserves credit for that. Also, the rookies on the in terms of Brad Self, how about Braden Saris? Connor Knock, Matthew Pilato. Not too shabby, I'd say, on those guys. Other Coach of the Year candidates you can look at here as well, besides Cuomo and Brad Self. I feel like Quinlan and Keenan, because the Rush, they are the one contender that has been great from start to finish. Like, the only knock we've had on the Rush all year was they dominated and couldn't finish a fourth quarter. And it got them only one loss, all right? That has got to matter, in my opinion, even though they're kind of like on the outside looking in. And how's another one for you? I don't like saying this because I think he's overstayed his welcome and he might back into another championship roster. I don't know. Matt Sawyer? I mean, can we be honest? Mike, I think it's Matt. It is Matt. I know what I'm thinking. It is Matt's. Yeah, so the point is, yeah, so Matt's, I don't know why I had a mic. Maybe it was Matt Sawyer, CJ Kirsch, Owen Hilt, Sam English. They're great rookies. Sawyer has to put them in good positions. They've been without Nick Rose the last 2 weeks. I don't care how good Holochuk has played. You have to manage that. They've had injuries on defense. I feel like just like Sean Williams with GM, if the Rock make the playoffs and are a pretty decent seed, why isn't Matt Sawyer a finalist? Just saying. Like, I would not be surprised. I almost would be, but at midway through, we've learned a lot. I would not be shocked if Matt Sawyer makes a few finalist ballots. How's that? For coach. Goalie of the year was close for a while. I don't think it's particularly close now. I'm going to have Brett Dobson as my goalie of the year, just for the record. I don't think that's debatable. Warren Hill should be in the consideration still. I've said the Thunderbirds are not playing well, but Warren Hill is like Patrick Garson on the broadcast many times. He's kept them in games. Unfortunately, when your record starts to dwindle, that matters for MVP and goalie, in my opinion, the most, probably. Like, in terms of like the positions, like the goalie has to eat some, which sucks. But like, just like MVP in the NFL, you gotta eat some sandwiches, man. And some of them are knuckles, and it hurts. Like, yeah. Doug Jameson, I still having a good year. Dylan Ward probably is goalie 2 right now, but I think it's Brett Dobson. I don't think it's close. MVP, I think Brett Dobson is the only goalie in that conversation right now, if you were to put it to my brain. I do think Keegan Ball and Del Bianco are up there. Now, Del Bianco has the benefit of a great defense. We all know Vancouver's offense has not been fantastic. The one guy who was in consideration for my offensive player of the year, Keegan Ball, has been not too shabby this year. Jeff Teat, because of the counting points total, I don't mind him. And like the Black Bears are one game under 500, but they're still in the mix. I feel like, personally, Rob Hellier being so good is hurting Jeff Teat's case right now. I mentioned Andrew Q has to matter right now. And that's pretty much it for the MVP talk. So I'm just going to show you my winners right now. I think Brett Dobson, again, just to run through the numbers for you guys. 5-3 record, again, that matters for the MVP and goalie. So he's both for me right now. All right. 5-3 record, good enough for almost tops in the league. 86.8 save percentage, which is historically awesome. 347 saves. He's actually behind Dougie on that, I believe. 3 assists, including 2 primary. Those are the Del Bianco assists. And, of course, I added 15 loose balls and a cost turnover. Brett Dobson has been sick. And that's why he's MVP and goalie, despite different graphics. Well, I did that on purpose, by the way, okay? The MVP graphic has to be more intimate, right? The face. Ed Cuomo is my coach of the year. I do think the rookies matter a lot. Lyle struggling matters a lot. This team is a 5-3. I also think the previous year's record matters. And I think Ed Cuomo right now, 5-3 versus 9-9 last year. The team is tied first in goals allowed. While Dolphins has been great, it still has to matter. The defense has been awesome as well. They've also won games at Colorado and at Halifax. They also beat the Toronto Rock, for the record. And though that might be a good win later in the year. Brad Self is my GM of the year right now. 8-10, 2025, 6-2 record this year. He acquired Andrew Q. He acquired Jack Hanna. Before I post that graphic, I'm probably going to add that he's got rookies like Pilato and Connor Knock and Braden Saris on his team, and those guys have done pretty well for them. And I don't know how many people really thought of that. Like, we all knew Andrew Q might be great. We thought Jack Hanna would be great when he got there. And you add the fact that they've got the rookies, I think Brad Self's been really good there. Few comments here. Loose mess. When I chat with Jimmy and Keenan, they're conserving energy instead of running into injuries compared to last year. I mean, cool. This is clickbait. What? What's clickbait? Again, folks, I understand. I have been one of the biggest critics on Matt Sawyer. Believe me. Just check my record. I have been critical on this show of Matt Sawyer. But I'm not going to pretend that that the roster having all these moving pieces with rookies. If the Rock are in the playoffs, you cannot tell me Matt Sawyer does not matter. Like, if Nick Rose misses the 4 or 5 games we think he will, and the Rock make the playoffs, and Tom Schreiber's out, like, I feel like, again, I don't think he will win Coach of the Year. I think it would be crazy if he did. But there is a conversation he could be 3rd, 4th, or 5th. See, that's what I don't get about people's comments, okay? I never said he would. Folks, can you show me? Because I know Loose Mash is good at recording people's clips. Can you please tell me when I said Matt Sawyer would win Coach of the Year? I'm just curious. Tell me when. I know, again, you guys love the screen record. Tell me when I said Matt Sawyer would win it. I didn't. I said he could be a finalist, like catching a couple of tail end of the ballots. Yes, that matters. That means no one put in first. It means he got 4th. Like, it makes no sense to me. Like, putting words in my mouth I've never understood that. Like, I did not say that. Yes, I did. And again, show me where I said he will win it. I don't think he's going to win it. I think his ceiling is 3rd at best. But don't say, well, guys, a finalist, like okay, how about this? Brett Dobson and Keegan Ball might be MVP finalists, or just pick your offensive player. Is anybody putting Brett Dobson? How about this? Doug Genius or Warren Hill, are they going to win goalie of the year over Brett Dobson? No, they're not. Are they finalists? Yes. Come on, guys. I'm not taking a breath because we can't put a finalist means you were in the conversation. If it's a runaway train right now, no one's going to put you first. Oh my Lord. What? Can we please have conversations that actually make sense here? I did get fired up, but I'm also having fun. Can we have conversations that actually matter here? Matt Sawyer might crack a couple top 5s. Is that fair? Like, name your 5 coaches. Matt Sawyer could, again, this year, duh. Yes, this comment, Pat, yes, that's what that means. Because how is it clickbait for Matt Sawyer being in the conversation? I'm curious. Although, again, here's my awards. And again, I think the one that's most surprising for me, and again, I did not see this coming. Alex Simmons as offensive player is a conversation I did not think I would have But there you go. Hey, we have 2 more segments to do. Stay tuned here. Appreciate the comments. This is great. Appreciate the comments. And stay tuned for Fresh Fits and Power Rankings. We'll be right back to the Daily Dive. Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome back to Daily Dive. I like this. Give Sword an extension, yeah. I mean, again, I'm not mad that you guys said it was clickbait. I just think that's an odd term to throw around. I mean, I feel like Alex Simmons was more. Alex Simmons at this point feels like a little bit of clickbait too, honestly. If I had to like guess. Honestly, hey folks, I have a question. If I know we got like a pat and loose match. I mean, even Kai. Let me know in the comments your awards right now. You don't have to do them all, but like, are there like any takes you have? Like, do you guys think Brett Dobson and goalie is goalie and MVP? Because I'm curious how popular that is as well. Like, I wonder, is he entering like the Del Bianco conversation from a few years ago? Like, do you guys see it the same way? Do you guys have your MVP as someone else besides Dobson? Who's offensive player of the year? I do think I'm curious about that. Oh, there you go. So we got one for that. Oh, there you go. Said on the broadcast. Look at me listening. Kai says Coach F. Yeah, and I'll put it this way, folks, as I'm transitioning to power rankings here shortly. I do think it's okay, so crossing sports here to make my point again. Like, remember when Steph Curry won MVP and Steve Kerr won Coach of the Year? I didn't like that because my take has usually been, well, was the MVP the valuable one or was the coach? Because I feel like I feel like the coach usually technically means most valuable coach, and no one even says that. Now, Ed Cuomo is different because he's got all the rookies, and the offense was so bad to start. And that's where I think Dobson and Cuomo can coexist, even though it actually goes against historically what I've said on this show. Oh, there it goes. We got more agreements on the Pack Reguar. Yeah, so again, Dobson goal of the year and MVP. Yeah, it's happening. NLL merch, netalkradio.us/NLL. Again, people suddenly started talking about this again. I'm like, guys, it's been out for 3 weeks. I don't know if it's been a month, but it's been a while. But you can help out the show. It goes to Amazon for the record, but we get credit for it. So it's one of the many ways to support this here show. All right, scrolling across the bottom of your screen will be the standings. It's not your boys' power rankings, though. All right. So let's get to it here. There was so much movement here. I honestly said, let's make the graphic after the show's done. Like, that's how crazy this was, all right? So, got the handy-dandy notebook here. It's a Blues Clues reference, right? Oh, one other comment before I get to this. Oh! Cuomo, Self, Callum Jones. Yeah, so transition's always been hard for me because I don't keep an eye on back door, front door. Like, it's hard for me. Right now, T, but Q. Oh, Q's another one. Like, just the stats on Q, it's ridiculous. Andrew Q's been great, too. 41, 18 goals, 33 points. So, oh, yeah. The problem is Andrew Q has already missed 4 games. I wonder, like, if he doesn't put up 7, like, he's not going to score 7 goals all year. That one, I feel like it's unfortunately like too little too late for him. I don't know. Curious to you, like, again, like, so, that was dumb. Remember, guys, like I mentioned the Callum Jones and Mike Messenger thing, or whoever, like, who is closest? If you guys, like me and others, have Defensive Player of the Year, who is your second, and how close is it to Callum Jones? I'm curious on that. All right, so power rankings now. Number 1 for me is going to remain the Rush. No change from last week. Number 2, Colorado is still number 2 for me. I told you guys I was on the bandwagon. I'm happy I was because they beat the living breaks off of the Buffalo Bandits. Now, number 3 for me, up 2 spots, Vancouver. I think Vancouver has entered the chat again. I know, and again, full disclosure, folks, I'm going to say it right now. I can see what Captain is saying. This is what I love about a week-to-week league with the conversations, because I like the idea that, right, like, we thought Ottawa is really good or taking a step. We thought, or at least I thought, Rochester was still a top 3 team. Vancouver said, you thought wrong. But wasn't us thinking wrong? And, like, because we thought wrong, how impressive are those? How impressive is Vancouver's wins if Rochester and Ottawa end up not being great? So if Captain still has him on fraud watch, and I do think, to be fair, that's a little bit tongue-in-cheek because of the videos that he's made, like the Good Monday Morning. Here's a few people I have to call out because I tossed a nickel on you. That was my Captain's Canadian accent impression. But I do wonder, like, is Vancouver that good? Are those teams that bad? Or were those good wins? Like, multiple choice thing here. Yeah, so Tchaikovsky's another one. So Tchaikovsky, it's so sad because that team is so bad. But his numbers have been great. Matt Hosick, yeah, I like that. So you would, okay, I like that. And again, Michael Grace, rookie, by the way, folks, helps out Arlotta there. But yeah, Matt Hosick's an interesting one because I thought Mike. So wow, I know Pat said transition player. Was it Jordan? I know you spelled it MC. You're talking about Jordan McIntosh, I assume, and then Mike Messenger. But would Messenger be on your, like, okay, and again, I don't want to just talk to Pat here, but like when voters are voting, is it okay for Messenger to make both transition player and defensive player? Because again, I don't touch transition player. But I wonder, could Matt Hosick and Mike Messenger be on the ballots? Or does it have to be like the MVP, which is why Zach Currier gets screwed away? It's always Wes Berg. Wow, guys. Thank you. Anyways. Yes, we're Sask, Colorado, Vancouver. Rochester has dropped just 1 spot. And I know that might sound like clickbait because they've had a couple of beatdowns recently. I'm curious if and when, I'll say when because of the outcry from it, when the suspension, whether it be 1 or multiple games, comes down for Rylan Hartley, and the Rochester Nighthawks undoubtedly appeal it or inevitably appeal it. Do we think that game is closer in Vancouver? Because it was a beatdown. But I'll remind people, in relief this year, Riley Hutchcraft has been awful. And I don't think that's being mean. He has not played very well at all. And he's coming to cup. Like, remember against the Philadelphia Wings when Hutchcraft came in? I'm curious if Rochester, if they get Hartley back because they appeal it and they have to wait a week, I'm curious if Hartley makes that game very competitive, because I think it could be. But I'm still going to obviously have to drop a spot, but I'm not going to kill him yet. Number 5 for me, the Buffalo Bandits dropped a spot. I'm not down on the Bandits yet. I do think I told you guys to start the season, and I'll get to the pack coming soon. I told you guys to start the season. I thought Buffalo would lose before the finals. I didn't think they were making it this year. I had Vancouver over Saskatchewan. Like, I'll just do the pack. I'll do the pat. Hey, can we call that the pat? Not bad. On the Packer Gore pat, you get it, whatever. I just feel like Buffalo is not done yet. But if they like they're playing, I think they got a get right game. I hate saying that for the Wings, but I gotta be fair here. Buffalo, they're playing the Wings, so like next week's conversation is going to be, are they back? But yeah, they only beat the Wings. Like, we're not at the point where the sky is falling despite a 29 smackdown. I'm just like, ugh. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was disgusting what happened in Colorado. And I'll even add this. It reminds me of what Pete Dolladay said about Warren Hill, but it's kind of like with the Mammoths into the Bandits. Oh, Pat, we're going to get a show here. Yeah. You guys have to watch the full games to understand the humor sometimes. Next up, moving up 2 spots, I had the Georgia Swarm. Guys, if Brett Dobson is going to keep on being not just 80, but 85% and above, I got to trust Georgia. 6th seed, baby. Come on. Next up, so who was billed as the nominees? He's talking about the Mike Messenger and Matt Hussey thing. There have been cases where players have been listed as both, but that usually come. I love the cannibal. We need to use the word cannibalizes more often. That's a great term. I'd see Messenger more of a transition player than defensive player, especially this season. But like, is that just because he's been so like? Is it okay? Like, that's what makes me sad about this. 10 caused turnovers and 12 blocked shots. It's like, it's kind of sad. Because like the 12 blocked shots is ridiculous. And that's where I'm like, that has to matter for defense. I don't know. But it could also be like a trail check for caused turnovers. But I think the blocked shots, you have to like be like pretty back on defense for a lot of those. Yelling at you. Come on. Kai, I'm wondering that too. I think I'm assuming Pat Gregoire is a vote, and I've seen other people talk about it. I do wonder if it's public who votes for him, just for the record. All right, number 7 for me, staying put, or the Toronto Rock. I know they beat the Black Bears, but the only team I can see Toronto over right now is Georgia, and I don't know if that's the case right now. Because guess what? Georgia won that game already. I know Holochuk played that game, but it was 10-9. Like, Nick Rose would have done the same thing. But Toronto 7 and Pat Gregoire, close your ears. I know he might be making comments, but I got to give him. Pat, don't listen to this. Number 8 is Ottawa, and number 9 is Halifax. I'm not done with Halifax because I don't think they're done. I do think Warren Hill. Should I switch this? Like, part of me is like, remember when I gave credit to Oshawa for their defense and goaltending? Warren Hill's been great. The defense is not committing penalties. I'll do it. All right. Halifax is 8. I gotta be consistent here. They are still number 8 for me. Now, Halifax did drop 2 spots, but I do think they are my number 8 team. But Ottawa is right there with them. And I know they both have been kind of, like, Ottawa had a bad loss. Halifax lost to Georgia for what that's worth at this point because Georgia's pretty good. I think Halifax is holding on to 8. They can't keep losing. But I'll give them credit for Warren Hill and the defense not committing penalties for now. He's back. Dude, did Mimico try just he is gonna love watching the replay of the last segment. Oh my, the dilly dive lore. It's incredible. All right, next up, the basement teams. Not really the basement. After Ottawa, number 9, San Diego is at 10. They moved up a spots, but I think sweeping Philadelphia, and Brandon O'Neill, Joe Rez, all the crew, I'm sorry, but sweeping you guys is the equivalent of the Dollar General employees sweeping cigarette butts off of the sidewalk. And I know Philadelphia, you guys are really competitive. It's in some parts of the game. But I'm not moved by the Seals having some. And I know Seals just beat Vancouver before that. And Vancouver went on a tear immediately afterwards. My point is, Philadelphia, you are the Newports. And if teams are supposed to sweep you at this point, okay? So I just want to get that out of the way. That might be a clip, actually. Oh. Pat hates the transition player designation. I think it's just the offense. I agree with that. Best offensive D. So I don't think that would be a good name for it. And Pat, you are creative. I think best two-way player. I think that would be great. I don't know. That still seems a little bit like it's not as good. It's way better than best offensive defensive man. Like, don't ever, Pat Gregoire, don't ever say that again. That was awful. But the best two-way player, we can go from there. And I feel like, but are we going to go back to transition? I don't know. Whatever. After the Seals, Vegas fans cannot be happy with me. I did move Vegas up 1. It was at the expense of my beloved Firewolves. There was a game. I know if you look at the Lax Tilly men, I think that's the one who does it. The media pick them. Everyone picked Las Vegas. Guess who I picked, folks? And I wasn't even on the graphic, but I do like to compare. I picked Oshawa. And what's even worse than that, Captain also picked Oshawa. But Tim Dillon, good for him. I picked Oshawa into the captain. I'm sorry to Captain for convincing you, and I'm sorry to the Las Vegas Desert Dogs because we have. I know I'm talking about the 11th and 12th ranked teams on then 13 Calgary, 14 Philadelphia. My point is, I don't owe Vegas an apology, but I do owe them. I do want to give them credit for beating Oshawa because I thought Firewolves had a chance, and that game was anyone's taking. And Mitch Jones said, "Whop, whop, whop," and then he went with his pretty blonde girlfriend. I mean, this is why you're supposed to follow players on Instagram so you get jokes like that. But Oshawa, I'm done. I'm so dumb. Not dumb. I mean, that works too, but I'm so done. Why did I say dumb? What? Of all the pride, how does that come out of my mouth? Unbelievable. All right. We're going to take one more commercial break. Coming up next, Fresh Fits. You guys already heard last week. Well, no, golly, it feels like last week. You guys heard me Monday say Teddy Jenner did win Fresh Fits the Broadcasters. But thankfully, Teddy Jenner does not represent all the players in the NLL. So we still have some players to get to here. I'm excited for it. I hope you guys are too. You're watching Daily Dive. Don't go anywhere. I know you won't.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening. You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome back to Daily Dive, the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talks on the planet. I'm your host, Michael Karvelis. It is Wednesday, February 4th, 2026. In case you missed it earlier, I did my Midseason Awards, the middies, as I call them. And of course, at the end of the year, we do the mics, which I love, by the way. I just love that I came up with that. Sorry. But yeah, those graphics will be posted later. Then we talk about my power rankings again. That graphic will be posted later as well. Saskatchewan, Colorado, Vancouver is third. Fourth is Rochester. Fifth is Buffalo. Georgia's is sixth. Toronto's 7. Halifax at 8th. And then, of course, we'll see the rest later on after we talked about it. Hey, it's for horses. Aren't you glad you're a Jackie? Aw. natalkradio.us/NLL. For NLL merchandise. It's the Amazon link. It just helps out the show here. Player name shirts, awesome looking hoodies. There you go. natalkradio.us/NLL. Remember, folks, click the event tickets tab at natalkradio.com or .us to go to the games. If you go get the merch and then go to the game, it's a bundle, baby. But like we're not like no progressive stuff here, but like it's a bundle, you know. I do wish like we could provide a discount if you guys brought. Here's an idea, and I shouldn't say this on the air, but it's like, what if we told fans, if you show us you bought tickets through the website, and you showed us you got the merchandise through the Amazon link, we like reimburse you. I don't know, or maybe like you're entered for a giveaway, but even like how many people would enter that, I don't know. Thought process there. It's like the wheels are turning. All right. Fresh fits. Now, full disclosure, everybody. Teddy Jenner did win it for the broadcasters. So when we go through this list, let's show him on the screen right there. Teddy Jenner, there he is. Yeah. Ooh. I love it. Teddy is like me. He sweats a lot. I'm not saying that's why he did this, but brother, I feel the top button being unbuttoned. Salmon or sandpaper. What orange? Burnt orange? What is this color? Hey, Brad Challoner looks nice. I got him in a bad time. We'll say it's chewing gum. But Teddy Jenner, man, woo wait. I'm not going to show the Bolos, but I will say, Pat and Pete, You look okay. Now let's get to the players real quick here. First one is going to be a man who plays for what I call the 12th ranked team. Nick, it's Colton Watkins. Captain Watkinson, for the record. Firewolves right there. They're playing the song Cab Ride by the Cake. I think it's like a country song featuring Jaquire. What a name. Jaquire Cake. I don't know. Yeah, I love the I think it helps them that they're in Vegas or Henderson at this point, but clean. Captain, you look great, Captain. Captain Watkinson, not Captain Pat. Whatever. There you go. Nick Weiss. I'm gonna be honest. Josh Byrne did not look himself. He didn't play like it either, but it was weird. So Nick Weiss, there you go, sir. Next up, Kyle Killen. Wow. You guys know my thoughts on ankles, and let me tell you, I don't know. I haven't seen how bad the Chase Fraser injury. Maybe I haven't been paying attention. I know he got carried off the floor with like a knee injury or a leg. We'll say lower body injury is the correct terminology for the NLL teams. He looked really good though in pregame. Mitch Jones looked good with his red, black, and whites. And he wore like a Canada sweater. But I think the hat, if you wear a hat, it might get you places. The pants paired up nicely, and again, it's just unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate. Next up, again, I don't know who runs the socials in Halifax. I don't know what we're doing with these. They're determined. And again, I have access to another photo site that can let me probably get their walk-ins. But again, this is a combined effort with the players who want to dress nice, the social media team. So this is all I can screenshot. Come on! It's Tyson Bell. Because no one else wore anything that was better. I'm hoping Tyson Bell has 18 of these jackets for all 18 games. Just saying. If not, he should get a dry cleaner sponsorship. Because there ain't no way he don't dry clean that thing at least once a week. I'm just saying. Feels like I think it's the FAFO draft jacket. Oh, wow. Listen, man. This is pretty. And first of all, the hair. Challen Rogers does not cut his hair, at least this year. Looks really good, man. Very, very shampoo-ish, you know? Like, looks like Troy. Is this our Troy Polamalu? So stupid. I love, because remember like they did that Indigenous jersey? I love the tie being Toronto Rock colors. It's kind of cool. Next up. I don't know like what he's thinking about, but Eli Salama, keep your head up, my boy. No, all black, not too shabby. So, like, you see like the silver belt buckle? We need more of those. I'm tired of the Louis Vuittons. Like, come on, man. Sometimes the silver belt buckle works, okay? Yeah, Patrick Shumay, and thank God for socks with a really pretty maroon jacket. That'll get it done. Tell you again. Nighthawks, you know, Ryan Lanchberry, I see this guy. I keep on wondering, who is this face? It's always Ryan Lanchberry. I keep forgetting. But, folks, did you know that this year, because I remember last year he had like more points than Ryan Smith. Guys, he's doing it again. I don't feel like Ryan Lynch. He's also leading the team in primary assists at 21 and regular assists at 30. I don't know why on earth Ryan Lanchberry gets overlooked. This guy is having more points than Ryan Smith in back-to-back years. His playmaking is vastly impressive. Is that all of them? It is. We had a lot though, so that was good. It could have been worse, you know. He looks like Tom Sawyer with Tom Sawyer? Is that? See, I've heard that name Tom Sawyer. I only know for what it is because of the Rush song. Tom Sawyer is a wanted man. Yes, I know that music. Shout out Geddy Lee. Who is Tom Sawyer, though? I honestly wonder about that. Here, you know what I can do afterwards? Google it. That'd be kind of cool. Wow. What did I say? Kai, I'm actually... What did I... Now I'm mad that I said... Did I say that? Who did I call really pretty? Because now I feel stupid. I'm like kind of mad. I'm like looking back to... Was it Patrick Shumay with the maroon? Oh my. That's unfortunate. But thank you, Kai. Yeah. Hey, Kai, keep me accountable here. Thank you, sir. Folks, you want to hear a really fun story? My friend randomly gifted me a jersey that I will debut on another show. It's not an NLL jersey, full disclosure. He also, and he's seen me wear this at his house before, by the way, this shirt. I did want to tell a story. He ordered another version of this shirt from Fanatics. So let's pour one out for my buddy, who I'll call him Q for privacy's sake, but I'm like, I've worn the shirt to his house probably 1,000 times. And I feel like, so when I come on the next show and I've got like another version of the shirt, I'm going to say, hey guys, look at my new NLL merch, and it'll be literally a copy, which I'm fine with. But if you know anybody that wears a 6X, and I don't know, I can't even do a giveaway. Wait, okay, I just thought of something. Maybe I could like put it behind me. That feels tacky though. Like we're an NLL show, not a Georgia Swarm show. I'm never being not a Swarm fan allegations. I'm really not. Pink. Oh wow, that's even worse. I think me calling it pretty is about as bad as you calling it pink, Kai. Shame on you. Kai actually had celebrated his birthday recently at a Mexican restaurant. And if you know a person is from Georgia when they go to a Mexican restaurant for their birthday. Y'all, it's a joke Canadians might not get. Y'all have a great rest of your day. That's enough shots at Kai the goalie. I hope you had fun. Looked like fried ice cream too. My goodness. Look at me getting hungry at this humble time of 11:10 Eastern. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Creating the narrative and more. Thanks for all of your comments from Loose Mesh, Kai the goalie, Mimico Trike, Pat Gregoire. We also had Bryce from the Combine crew. Even though it's weird, because one of the Combine crew guys has me blocked. I'm like, what? How many crew guys are there? And why do 3 of them like me? What is this? Also, but yeah, shout out to this guy. Where'd he go? Bryce from the Combine crew. There you go. Wait, what is that company he said? Oh, interesting. I mean, I've been calling for Patrick Merrill's head too, for the record. I want to like give these commenters like credit. Oh, Prairie Tan. There, I like that too. Thank you for on the comment today. That's all. All right, I think that's all. Oh, Captain commented a long time ago. He's probably at work. All right. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. This has been Daily Dive. Let's guarantee we will not miss another show. What should I don't want to say all season because things happen. Let's say the next 3 full weeks I will do, and I will circle back to this moment and say, hey, let's extend the streak here. But it wasn't fun yesterday. Thanks for watching. I gotta learn to. I don't like outros because I feel like each time can be different, but the show is over. Bye, guys.